What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant back again. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I go live daily, drop content daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to know what you all think about these topics that we discuss. And ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce that Tua Tagovailoa. I can't say my brother's last name, man. I can't. I've never really been able to say Tua's last name, but we're gonna just stick to Tua. Tua has inked a historic deal. I believe the highest contract um, in Miami Dolphins history. Um, his deal also puts him right underneath Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, and as I'm reporting this, he got his deal before Jordan Love, but um, I'm reporting on this after Jordan Love inked his deal. So he's the fourth highest quarterback behind those three gentlemen: Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, and Jordan Love, and he'll be making an annual 53.1. So it just put him, a shaving underneath. Uh, the three aforementioned quarterbacks, 55.1 million. Two will be making 53.1 million. And also his deal was, or his extension, I should say, was worth what, 4 years, 212.4 million. So his deal was just a little bit more than Jared Goff's of the Detroit Lions. I'm happy that they was able to come to this agreement. If y'all been following me for any amount of time, I made quite a few Miami Dolphins videos last season, as I felt like what they were putting together was very impressive. I love the offense of the Miami Dolphins. I love Mike McDaniel. Not too familiar exactly where their defense ranked last season. I don't believe it was elite in any fashion. Um, but I feel like what I seen from the Miami Dolphins last season, I feel like they have a lot to build on. I think that Mike McDaniels could probably go down as one of the great coaches. I know that he's an offensive genius. He kind of reminds me a lot of Cal Shanahan of the 49ers. The way he's able to draw up an offense, and it can be very creative, if you will. Both of those gentlemen, I feel like, are offensive minded gurus when it comes to the NFL. The defense, that's a whole nother conversation, and I don't want to take away from Tua's moment, but I do feel like Tua last season took a step forward, especially in the early parts of the season, the NFL season. He was definitely looking like an MVP candidate. Kind of tailored off a little bit at the end there, but at the end of the day, put up some great numbers. In fact, let me see what Tua did, man. Y'all forgive me. I'm always interested to see what with this last season. I believe this is what he's making for a career. I mean, what he's doing for a career. But let me see. Let me see. Uh, while I'm looking for these numbers, okay, yeah, these are his numbers from last season. So last season, Tua put up. He had a completion percentage of 69.3, put up 4,624 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and average 8.26 yards per throw attempt. So very impressive. These are elite numbers. I would suggest, or my concern would be the interception department. Probably cut that down by five to seven turnovers there, interceptions. But outside of that, man, like I said, I think that Tua took a big step forward last season. Again, had in the beginning of the season was definitely in the MVP race, and I feel like that what they were able to accomplish last season, the successes that the Miami Dolphins attained, I feel like they have a good cornerstone to build off towards the future. Um, I really like Tua. I've always liked Tua. I loved him when he was at Alabama. I feel like he's a bit underrated, undersized, but he got that a big heart. Kind of reminds me of the Drew Brees type prototype quarterbacks. Um, and I do feel like, if Tua got everything clicking, he could possibly get himself a Super Bowl ring with the Miami Dolphins as well. It comes from good coaching, of course, with Nick Saban. I forget who was the coach before Mike McDaniel showed up, but I feel like Mike McDaniel's has the kind of attitude that Tua can work with. I don't think there's any drama, nor have I read any drama coming out of the locker room. And that's much to say to Tyreek Hill because wide receivers of Tyreek Hill's ilk, get kind of accused of being divas and, locker room disturbances from time to time. But nothing from him. Him and Jalen Waddle seem to get along perfectly, and they all seem to love Tua. That's their guy. So I'm glad to see that the Miami Dolphins were able to get Tua under contract. Moving forward, I feel like this is great for the Miami Dolphins. Tua is on, I wouldn't say a team friendly deal, but he isn't getting, the astronomical dollars that, I mean, he's still getting paid good. He's still getting paid 53 compared to those other guys, 55. I mean, it's still a nice price tag, a big price tag, but I'm not mad at it. I feel like Tua is right in that ilk, not amongst the elite class of quarterbacks, but he's right there in that next draft class. I mean, that next tier of quarterbacks. I would say the great, great to good to greats, potentially anyway. But again, I feel like if Tua gets everything clicking, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in the league next season. And that's much to say. Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. But I feel like he could be a part of that class. Him, Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, be that class. Um, that starts putting their name on the map for these next 5 seasons. Because Tua is 26 right now, so yeah, he's about to be entering some of his prime. I say give him 26, probably another season, 27 for sure. So. Um, I'm excited to see Tua's growth. Me personally, I'm excited to see Tua's growth and see how it affects the Miami Dolphins. But again, my number one concern with the Dolphins is that defense. I know they can put up points, and I wanted to mention too, as far as the Dolphins go, this is a little off subject, but I feel like that what they put together last season again was, uh, good to see. And I feel like they were kind of a disadvantage being a warmer climate team playing in freezing weather in Kansas City in that playoff game that they had. So, they lost and it didn't look impressive how they lost. I believe that the Chiefs' defense was more so dominant that game. Uh, and yeah, I believe they shut Tyreek Hill down for the most part. I don't think he had too many catches. I believe he had like one maybe catch. Excuse me, y'all. But nonetheless, I feel like the Dolphins, if they didn't run into that game against, the defending Super Bowl champions, eventual Super Bowl champions, in that kind of weather, that, we may be saying that Miami Dolphins would have gone another, round or two further. Who's to say? Like I say, they have an offense that once it's clicking, it's hard to think of an offense that was better than them. I mean, it's almost Kurt Warner, St. Louis Rams greatest show on turf ish. How the Miami Dolphins can get it clicking because they got so many elite offensive weapons and skill position players that. Again, once they get it clicking, it's clicking. That's including Tua. Tua is the driver behind that offense. But anyway, I just feel like that game that they ran into against the Kansas City Chiefs was a bit of a disservice to them, but I expect a lot more from them this season and see how far they can go. I mean, honestly, I know this sounds like some cap, but I can see the Miami Dolphins in the AFC Championship, in the AFC Championship game. Uh, I wouldn't say Super Bowl just yet, but I could definitely see them sneaking into the AFC Championship game facing off with a Bengals, a Ravens, or a Chiefs team for sure. They could be a sneaker in there. In fact, that's going to be my hot take. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins are my dark horse to make it to the AFC Championship game. I wouldn't say that I'll put them in the Super Bowl just yet. I got the Chiefs returning, but I could see the Chiefs versus the Dolphins, just as easily as I could see the Chiefs versus the Bills and or Bengals. So we'll see. We're going to see how this contract plays out for the Miami Dolphins for sure. That's all I got for y'all on this particular video. Please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Join the fam as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay very, very busy on this platform. And last but not least, my absolute favorite part, please leave y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to know what y'all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.